for all of those students who are here to be a part of this conclave, this seminar, this webinar that you call it, that is a it's going to be a good opportunity for me to learn something out of you, for your college that it can go to fulfill some of your responsibilities with you, and also to yourself that you can go on to have a good amount of learning ability development into yourself. Now we'll go on to welcome all of you people in this case, and we'll go to begin with the very basic part here. What exactly is it that you require to build a personality in 21st century? Now we are talking about the 21st century began with a very sound optimistic note, if you recall that. Now this sound optimistic note is going to be associated with the beginning of two Asian centuries, that is China and India, both of them. So 21st century began with a footprint like that. Now it has been 20 years since we began and we were stepped up into 21st century, and you will go to realize that the post-COVID period had been very, very difficult, and it has been one of the most difficult periods in the entire of the history of mankind. Now the way you can go to think of it is that is, you will hardly have witnessed that not even in the Second World War, not even in the First World War, that there was a complete lockdown. Now, this is something that you have witnessed, and all of you have witnessed, that is part of history. And this is an exceptional historical setting. So, post COVID era has been very, very different and very, very difficult as well. Essentially, the entire of this period beginning from something like 1980 to about till this time has been a period of consumerism. And COVID was one of those phenomena that exposed this entire consumerism phenomena. How is it that we're going to say it? It was essentially a product of consumerism. And how is it that you're going to say that it is a product of consumerism? Now think of it. You know there is an enemy, and there is an enemy, that means we talk about China. Now the style of China, the intent of China, everything associated with it was forgotten only because it was supplying some cheap commodity to the people. Now because it was going to be supplying some cheap commodity to the people and to the countries, people thought that let's do away with it, nothing to worry about it, we'll go on to see as and when it goes on to come. Now, how can you go on to allow a criminal to enter into your house? Now, China's style intent, not once, not twice, not thrice, it showed it so many times that its style intent on almost everything had been subject to such type of a criminal activity. Take the case of South China Sea, take the case of whatever it did in Vietnam, take the case of any of these places, and we're going to find that China has not been very, very respectable to the mankind at all. So, despite that, Western European countries, North American countries tried to hobnob with the Chinese only because of one reason, because the Chinese were providing them and supplying them products that were going to be cheaper than most of these products. And why is it that they required a cheaper product? Because they were accustomed to it, because they were habituated to it. Now understand what is consumerism. Consumerism is about earn money, spend money, because there is going to be someone who wants to earn more money of sorts. You can go to take an example. That is, the best example in this case is going to be that of a bicycle. Now, a bicycle is a disaster for the economy. Can you think it so? A bicycle is a disaster for the economy. Now, when you have a bicycle, you will you will not go to use a car. You will not go on to use any of these type of public transportations. You will go on to use it on your own. Second is, when you are going to be using bicycles, then you are also going to be using your you're going to be also using your health as well. That means that you're going to be very, very good in terms of your health as well. Now, when you go on to talk about it, you're also going to see that is that the doctors will be required less and less in number. And why is it that will be required less in number? Because bicycles will not go on to allow you to fall sick. Your government will go on to spend less and less on petrol. Your government will go on to spend less and less on a vehicles. Your environment will be much more cleaner. And you're going to think of it. That is, your family will be also much more happier because you won't have to go too far in this case. So a cycle will go to be spelling a doom for the doctors, spelling a doom for all of those people who go to pollute the environment. It will going to spell a doom for a petroleum industry, for the automobile industry, and of course it is going to be very, very good for yourself, you yourself. And that is why we're going to say that is when we're going to be talking about economy, it's a disaster for the economy. And when we say it so, it's a disaster for the economy, it means that it will not go on to add to the so-called GDP. Now, this is a term that has been used recently in order to humiliate your prime minister and to spread a lot of negative things about it, as if GDP is everything. GDP is not at all everything in this case at all. You go on to increase your GDP when you commit a crime. When you're going to commit a crime, what exactly is it that you're going to do? You commit a crime, you earn some amount of money. Now that goes on to add to GDP. Then we're going to have a policeman. This policeman will go on to earn some amount of salary that will go on to add to GDP. Then in order to track the criminals, you will go on to have a good number of infrastructure. That will also go on to add to the GDP. Thereafter, when you go on to commit certain type of a crime, you will go on to most of the people will go on to have a security feature in their house. In their house, that will also go on to increase someone's else income. That will go on to increase GDP. Now take another example. When you go on to pollute environment, when you go on to allow people to fall sick, when you go on to allow people to lead a very miserable life, then you also go on to increase your GDP. And how is it that you're going to do it so? Now think of it. You use something not to be eaten and you're going to eat it. Then something like burger. When you go to eat it, you are increasing toxicity in your body. Now that will go on to mean that you will go on to fall sick often. When you're going to fall sick often, there will be good number of doctors, there will be good number of hospitals there, there will be good number of medicines there. So how many industries will go on to run? Pharmaceutical industry will go on to run, doctors industry will go on to run. Then you have an industry that is going to be running completely on construction of the medical equipments in this case, and so on and so forth. So that is again going to be good for the economy. If you go on to keep on falling sick, it is going to be good for the economy. If the environment is polluted, then it is going to be good for the economy because you will go to fall sick even more often. The environment will be very, very dirty. So there will be some people who will go on to earn money by polluting the environment. There will be some people who will go to earn money by cleaning the environment. There will be some people who will go to earn money by again making equipments which will go on to take care of this environment. So no one will want that the crime rate goes down. No one will want that your health should be good. No one will want that the environment should be clean. When we are going to be talking about the COVID age and what post-COVID age had let us know in this case, it has let us know that we are slaves of such type of consumerism. We cannot go to live without it. And we cannot go to live without it because we're going to pollute the environment, we're going to pollute it. Of course, there is logic or not logic, that is not a material in this case. We're going to pollute it, we're going to pollute the environment, we're going to take care of the people, health, and then there will be some elections. We're going to say that environment is so polluted, we're going to clean the environment. The area is going to be that is going to be ridden by so many types of criminals. We're going to take care of it, and this is how exactly your economy runs. This is consumerism. It's called as a consumerist society. In a consumerist society, you go on to become a slave of the product. You're going to become a slave of the country. You're going to become a slave of a person who is out to earn money out of you. And when we're going to say that you're going to become a slave of it, then you are at the mercy of it. In the same manner that you can go on to say that someone is there to earn more amount of money, you will go on to also earn some amount of money, whereas there will be no need for that. If you can go on to think of it, there will be a lot of things without which we used to be living a life much, much, much before. That is, some 200 years back, most of the things that you go on to be using right now, they were not to be used. They were not needed at that point of time. Still, India was very developed. Can you imagine? India used to be having almost 50% of the world's GDP at one point of time. So what went wrong was that our mind went on to become wrong. And we started thinking that everything outside the country is going to be very, very good, including the language that we are using. Imagine, in a civilization that is 8,000 years old, we do not going to use our language and we go on to use an alien language. You're going to use a foreign language. It's like saying shame on us in this case. But then that has been the medium of instruction in most of the colleges, universities, and other places as well. Now, what post-COVID era did was that it went on to make us realize that we are in for some amount of a change. For example, it said that greed and selfishness subject you to be under manipulation. When you're greedy, when you're selfish, then anyone can go on to make a fool out of you. And how is it that anyone can go to make a fool out of you? If you're greedy, you will always want to have certain greedy things. If you are selfish, you are always going to be self-centered. And anyone who goes on to say that, see, I will going to take care of your greed, I am going to take care of your selfishness, then you will going to yield to it. It's so easy to make a fool of a person who is having ego, who is greedy, who is selfish. Consumerist society goes on to lead to people becoming selfish and greedy. And now post-COVID goes on to say that is the moment you go on to become greedy, what will happen? It will be countries like China that will go on to take advantage out of you. When you're going to become greedy, ask the people from London. Now the whole of London, whole of Great Britain is almost going to be destroyed in some amount of time by the Islamic terrorists. Now, they allowed all of those people to come to their country. And when they allowed these people to come to their country, settle, only because they wanted that there should be cheap labor. And that was greed. That was a greed of sorts. And when it was a greed, then the new Islamic separatists will go on to take advantage of it. These terrorists are going to be almost in every nook and corner of Great Britain. So that is something that the people have come to know, and people have come to realize it, and people have come also to, in a sense, what we're going to say that is come to know of it as well. Then, the second aspect has been health is an asset. When we're going to say that is health is an asset, that basically means that is if you're not healthy, then anything can go to happen to you. And when we say that anything can go to happen to you, it means that take the case of Corona. Corona, there are going to be a good number of people who have been affected by Corona, but then they have not fallen sick. And why is it that they have fallen sick? It's largely because they had so much amount of resistance that they were able to do it so. Out of 100 people that go on to get affected by Corona, you will go on to realize that only 1 or 2 of them, they go on to meet death. There is the mortality rate is so low in this case. So why is it that rest of the people don't go to die? They don't go to die because of a simple reason. That is, they don't die because they have a very high amount of immunity that is inbuilt. Maybe some of you who would have come to, who would have affected by Corona, and they don't realize it. And then they just going to get cured. Ask good number of people who have been in Zee television. Do you know? Whole of Zee television's premises had been completely sealed, largely because there were no less than 100 people who were affected by Corona. They got infected. But they have been infected for a good amount of a time. They never realized that they have been infected. They never realized that part. And they got cured as well. And they were moving here and there, despite the fact that the government ultimately said that is no, you have to be quarantined. So people have realized that health is an asset. If you have health, then you can go to do anything. And imagine, just imagine this part. People got affected by corona and no amount of money can go on to save them. This is what happened in Italy. This is what happened in Britain. This is what happened in the United States. No amount of money was able to help these people at all. That's the second part that had allowed people to get it realized. The third part has been that your family is your happiness. That is, perhaps a good number of people may not go to realize that part, but if you have a family and if your family is going to be, if your family is going to be with you, there is no blessing other than that. Don't go on to look for anything outside. Always go on to look for your family. Your family, as long as you are going to be with your family, or a family like feeding people going to be having it, that is going to be the best part. The family, that means your family is your happiness. You don't have to find a happiness outside at all. The fourth part is nature is capital. Nature is some of you people may have realized it when there was a lockdown. You will realize that during the period of a lockdown, there was no noise. A good number of birds went on to invade. The environment went on to become clear. Can you imagine? Just imagine a happiness. Just imagine that you are not in Noida right now, and you are in Saharanpur, and you have not seen snow-clad Himalayan mountains ever in your life. And all of a sudden, you're going to wake up one of these days and you're going to find snow-clad Himalayan region. Now, can you imagine this happiness, how much it can go on to be? We can just imagine this part, right? I mean, any amount of money can go on to, can it go on to help you gain this amount of a happiness? Of course, answer is no in this case. Take another example. There have been a region called Hoshiarpur, Jalandhar. Now, these were also the places from where people were able to take a look at the Himalayan mountain ranges, which they never thought that they would be. From place like Sitamarhi in Bihar, again people were able to take a look at Everest mountains. And imagine the amount of a joy. Nature is supreme. When you go on to breathe in fresh air, that is nature. When you go on to feel happy because of the weather, just imagine that is you are having such a warm condition right now, it's summer, and it goes on to rain. And because it goes on to rain, that goes on to make you happy. Can anything go on to give more amount of happiness than this part? Of course, the answer is no. So nature is capital. The fifth part and sixth part is peace is luxury. When we're going to say peace is luxury, essentially, we go on to talk of we're going to be talking about peace is going to be all about that is you may be having thousands of crores of rupees in your mind and with you, and still you don't have a peace. So you are as stressed as a person who doesn't go to be having a house. So it's all about that is peace is the biggest luxury, largely because without peace there is nothing that you can go to do at all. And lastly, the economy is gig. That means gig economy is the new type of economy that we are talking about. And what exactly is a gig economy? Gig economy is one economy where every person is a brand, where every person is an institution, and every person can go on to do something on its own. Every person can go on to do anything that you can go on to think of. Every person is going to be using their own talent, their own resources, their own attitude to do anything that they can go to like it. And when we're going to say that is every person, that means you don't require a platform. You yourself happen to be a platform. That is gig economy. Now, these are some of the things that have helped us to realize it. Now, why is it that we talked about it? Because when you go on to be looking for an opportunity, when you go on to be looking for a career, you're going to be looking for all of those things, all of these things that we discussed about. There is what will go on to be the future of the world 10 years or 15 years later on. There will be gig economy. People will go to look for a cleaner environment. There will be always people will go to look for happiness as a one way of earning money. People will also go to look for everything that is going to be, they will go to shed their greed, selfishness, because any person who is greedy and selfish, they cannot go on to build a social capital. And without a social capital means that you can't go on to have a lot of friends who will go on to vouch for to die for you. You can't go on to have a friends who will go on to also think of a they will also go to think of a not being with you when you are under some amount of a trouble. So the best of the capital that you can go to imagine is always going to be social capital. It is bigger than that of financial capital. It is bigger than that of intellectual capital, because if you go to be having social capital with you, that means good number of friends, people, then you can go to do anything. If you have friendship, you can go on to do any work in the whole of the world. It's not that you can't go to do anything in this case. So these are the type of opportunity that your life essentially goes on to lead to, and this is where you will have to talk of it. Now the personality that is going to be required in this case is going to be taking all of these aspects into account. Now there are going to be two aspects of your personality that you can go to look for. First is living for yourself. That means in this case success is going to be all about living for yourself. When you're going to live for yourself. Now when you're going to be living for yourself, you don't require anything at all. You just require to be simple, you just require to be transparent, you just require to be original. That is what that you're going to need. You just require to be simple, transparent and original in this case. Now that doesn't going to cost you at all. Being simple doesn't going to cost you at all. Now why is it that we're going to say that is you have to be you can't go on to be simple in this world, because everyone is after you. Everyone will go on to talk about it. That is how to use it, how to utilize it, how to exploit you. And when you're going to be talking about exploitation with the people, then people will going to say that, see, you also start earning money and we are earning money. You earn 10 rupees, will go to earn 1,000 rupees, and that is how we're going to lead the whole of the world towards it. So being successful and having a personality to be successful requires that when you are living for yourself, then you don't require anyone at all in this case. It's have to be simple, transparent and original. But when you go on to live a life for the people, for the public, then that goes on to become difficult. Now, success in this case basically means, can you imagine what success is going to be all about? Success is all about leading your life the way you want to. Success is all about living your life the way you want to. It's take an example. That is, you have a huge amount of a bank balance. Now, you wanted to spend some amount of your time in solitude in a place that doesn't go on to be environmentally polluted. Now, will you go on to find such type of a place in Delhi? Answer is no. That means despite having so much amount of money, don't going to be having an enlargement of your choice. That means you don't have a choice. You are compelled to be where? You're compelled to be in a furnace. You're compelled to be in an environmentally degraded position. And why? Because you don't have an option in this case. So is it that you are successful because you want to live in a solitude, you want to live in a peaceful manner? Is it that you can go to live in peace? If you're not successful. Success is also about, let's say you want to marry a boy and a girl and you're not able to do so. That's not being successful. That is being unsuccessful. Success is also, as we talked about, success is all about living your life the way you want to. If you want to live your life by earning money and you're earning money, that is being successful. If you want to live your life by simple and you are being simple, that is being successful. If you want to live your life by wandering through the whole of the world, that is being successful. If you want to live your life by being passionate and you are going to be passionate about traveling and you travel to here, there, everywhere, that is being successful. If you want to live your life only cooking food and you are able to do it so, that is being successful. So that success is going to be all about what exactly is it that you think of. But then there is another success, what people go on to think of in the eyes of the society. Now, in the eyes of the society, that means in public perception, that means people go on to think that you are successful. Now, this is a mental case. This is a psychic part. That means you live your life the way people want you to live. And this is indeed a psychological problem with the people. But assuming it so, that is, you want to be successful in the eyes of the people. What exactly that is going to require? The first thing that you're going to require is that is money. In this case, this is how exactly, because you want to earn money. You are going to be earning money. In this case, that's number one. Now, always imagine one thing. When you want to earn money and you are able to earn money, that's good. So, should you go to chase money? Think of it. Think of it. Should you go to chase money? We can't go to chase money. If you are chasing money, you will end up getting nothing at all. If you chase vision, if you chase what exactly will going to happen, money will end up following you. So, what exactly is better? Better is chasing vision, not chasing money in this case at all. So, money is one part. That is one gradient of being successful. Second is fame. Now, by fame, we mean two things. One is popularity, another is respectability. Both of them are different. Popularity means there is a good number of people happen to know you. Wrong or right, they know you. For example, people going to know good number of criminals of Ghaziabad as well. That is it is going to be fame. You can go to say that yes, you want to be criminal and you want to be criminal of that type, that is going to be fame. So that is one component. Second is respectability. Respectability is something that will not going to be popular, or that will not going to give you popularity. Because when you are doing something that is qualitatively very, very good, I repeat it, qualitatively very, very good, then you will not going to have a very, very wide spectrum. It's like you can go to say that always there is a person like a person who is very high in intellectual capacity and capabilities. These type of people will always go on to be better. They will always go on to be better, and they will not going to have a very, very wide audience. This largely because only few people understand quality, only few people appreciate quality. It's like there is you yourself can understand it. Let's say you go on to be watching a dance, and then someone goes on to show Bharatanatyam, where every finger, every pore space of your body, every joint is going to be moving and moving in a rhythmic manner. And then another is going to be striptease, which is the one that will go on to garner a greater amount of popularity. Of course, it is going to be cabaret, striptease, and you will go to find this is the basic reason that TikTok has been popular in the country. This is the basic reason that the cheapest possible people in the country, that is they are complete trash, lecherous people, they're going to be having a wide following. This is largely because respectability does not go on to be having that much amount of a market. It doesn't go on to be have so much amount of an influence. Popularity goes on to be having more amount of it. But then respectability is something that lasts. Respectability is something that is going to be sustainable. Respectability is something that will go on to be completely different. You just imagine that is in my place. If someone like Rakhi Sawant would have been giving you this type of a lecture, then maybe that is the number of people who happen to be watching this would have been no less than 1,000 times much more than what exactly when I am talking to you in this case. So I represent a different type of a brand, and then there will be a good number of people who are going to represent a different type of a brand. The third component of a success is going to be what we're going to be calling as power. Power is a ability to get your work done. Power is that means if you have a lot of ego, you will going to have power. And why is it that we're going to say it so? For any amount of a work done, for able to live your life happily, you just require to be simple. You just require to be humane. You just require to be human. You don't require to be powerful at all in this case. And you require a power to get all of those type of nefarious work done. Not exactly that. You require power to win over people. Now that goes on to become significant. But then power is one form of a success. You require power so that no one can go to harm you. You can go to harm some people, but then no one can harm you. The other part has been peace. Peace means tranquility. That means peace basically goes on to mean that you are able to live your life the way you want to in a very, very simple manner, peaceful. There's no luxury, as we talked about, better than that of having peaceful existence. Because when you are peaceful, you can go to do anything. Imagine anything you can go to do. Then, to be successful, you will require to be beautiful. And how is it that you can be beautiful? I'm not talking about attractive. I'm not talking about good looking. Good looking is going to be all about what the Almighty has given to you. Your looks are good, but your looks, if your looks are good, and supposingly that you always go on to show an irritated face, always going to show an angry face, is it that will going to look good? Of course not. Let's say that is you going to be having a so-called girlfriend or a boyfriend who going to look very, very good, something like a maybe stunning of sorts. Now, despite the fact that they go on to keep on stinging you, keep on troubling you always every time for one reason or the other. And if they keep on troubling you for no rhyme or reason at any point of a time, is it that you will go on to find them to be beautiful? Answer is not. Right? So to be beautiful, you require to be beauty. Beauty basically means that is what you're going to think from inside is what exactly goes to get reflected on your face. There's a saying in Hindi, if you can understand Hindi to an extent, this is called as Sundar Mukh ka pratyek bhav parivartan sundar hota hai. That means if you are beautiful, then every expression of you will go on to be beautiful. And why is it that we going to say that every expression will can go on to be beautiful? This is because every looks of you, every action of you, every body language of you will go on to be liked by the people. So being successful means you have to be beautiful. That is, you're going to find that attractive people are not always going to be beautiful. Largely because to be looking beautiful, they require to have a very, very good heart of sorts. The fifth part in this case of a success, sign of a success is being loved. You take two examples of it. If you have heard about President Kalam, now he was one person who was loved. If you can go to pick up another of this person, in this case, maybe something like a film celebrity of sorts, Rajnikant, he is loved. He is, of course, held in awe as well, loved as well. But on the other hand, if you can go to pick up all of those Mujra heroes of Mumbai's film industry, I'm not talking Bollywood because Bollywood name is an insult that is going to be given to it, right? So all of those people who go to be so-called stars in this case, you can't imagine how hated these people are. Maybe that they're going to be having billions of followers, but then those people who go to like a million means 1 billion of sorts. A good number of my hits, my videos have a million viewpoints. But that doesn't go to mean that you can go on to be so popular all in all. But then they are going to be very, very hated. That is, they are not loved at all. And you will go to find it now. That is a good number of people who are simplistic, a good number of people who are good natured, and that is, they are the one who are loved. The last part that may going to concern you is going to be about career. When we are going to be talking about career, then the meaning of career is going to be identity. One part is identity. If you have an identity, you have a career. If you have a brand, you are having a career. Career also goes into being that you have fun. That means you have picked up an activity or you have picked up an action that is full of fun. That means your passion, your fun has been your passion, and it's your fun that has made a career out of you. For example, you will go on to understand that there used to be a person called Raju Srivastava, and Raju Srivastava was the one who was essentially responsible for making a lot of things. For example, he is the one who made mimicry. He is the one who was responsible for certain things like buffooning a career out of it. Now, when he was able to make a career out of this type of a buffoonery, that means it's because it was fun. You will going to find that there were some people who were very, very good in dancing. Take the case of Shah Rukh Khan, who was very good in dancing, and he enjoyed that. He made a career out of it. He is not an actor. He does not know acting. He is an entertainer, and then he has made a career out of it. So you can go to make a career out of anything that you enjoy. Anything that you enjoy. So, now these are so many of these aspects that means that you require, that is in your personality, that you must go to understand these things as part of your personality. Whether you require money, whether you require fame, fame means popularity or respectability, whether you require power, whether you require peace, whether you require to be beautiful, whether you require to be loved, or whether you require only a career. Supposing that you want to make a career, that is what will go to help you. Now, in case if you want to make a career, then what are all of those things? What are all of those things that will go on to help you make a career? What are the traits in your personality that will go on to help you build a career? Now, we're going to become systematically, and we are not going to be talking about degree. Degree doesn't going to be having any meaning at all. You will going to find that the most successful people in the whole of the world who have been, they are the people not those who go on to be having lots of degrees. They are the people who have been dropped out from schools. You will go on to pick up Microsoft chairman Bill Gates. You will go on to pick up Zuckerberg. You will go on to pick up any one of them who have not been successful. Degree only goes on to help you to an extent. Degrees for all those people who want to take a job. But anyone who wants to make a career, degree doesn't help them, because career means that means you do go on to live a life on your own terms. When you go on to take a job, then you become a servant of someone. You become a servant of some type of a concept, some type of a job, some type of a factory, some type of firm, and so on. And in this world that we're going to be calling it as gig economy. Gig economy, this means everyone has an opportunity to make a career out of it. Everyone can go on to be a brand. Everyone can go on to be good. Everyone can go on to be what not. This is largely because net has offered you this type of possibility. Your vision and other things has given you such a possibility that you can be in such a form. So, the first thing that you require in order to build a career is have a high degree of self-understanding. Now, when we're going to be talking about having a high degree of self-understanding, it basically means that you understand yourself. What are your merits? What are your demerits? What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? You go on to know everything about it. And when we're going to be talking about merits, demerits, strengths, weaknesses, you know about it. And you are in a position to overcome your weaknesses as well. Now, when you know about yourself, you know what all capabilities that you're going to have, what all that you can go on to do, what all that you can actually achieve. Unless you happen to know that, there is absolutely no way that you can ever be successful. If you don't have a self-understanding, you don't have a personality of your own at all. Absolutely no. Now, self-understanding is obtained by talking to people. Self-understanding is obtained by having been exposed to a variety of type of situations. Self-understanding can never ever be obtained by being on the net. Never ever. It is fatal. I repeat it, it's fatal. There cannot be anything worse than being on the net and being hooked on to some of these things like internet, YouTube, TikTok, and I'm told that there is a game that good number of students going to play PUBG, and in PUBG there is no creativity at all. It's only an addiction. So such type of mentally retarded people are the one who don't going to make any career out of it. The self-understanding is when you understand whether you are intelligent, whether you are very good in public relations, whether you are strong, whether you are having a lot of patience, whether you are beautiful, whether you can go on to change the whole of the world, whether you can go on to be a leader, whether you can go on to be a scholar, whether you can go on to be an academician, because the career doesn't go to mean that everyone can go on to be an engineer. Career doesn't go to mean that everyone has to be a doctor, everyone has to be one. Now, when you go on to subject yourself to imitation, start imitating people, then you don't have a self-understanding about yourself at all. Absolutely not. Second is communication. Now, by communication, we basically mean a language to express it. Now, you will go to find that is a good number of students in these days, they are not able to speak even a single line English correct. not even a single line Hindi correct. Now, if they can't go on to speak even a single line mother tongue of their, I don't know whether your mother tongue is Hindi or whatever it is, then if you can't go on to speak your mother tongue correct, then you are worth nothing at all. Nothing at all. No one will respect you at all. And I repeat, no one will respect you. At least no one will go to respect you in the country. No one will go to respect you outside the country also. This is because you require to have a communication. Communication means you are able to express whatever that you can express. That means if there is something that comes to your mind, you are able to express it exactly the way it is. And if you are able to do so, then you have a communication. You know what you are saying. You know what you intend to say. That means there is a complete congruence between what you think, what you logic it out, and what you say and what you mean. The moment there is any amount of anomaly between all of them, then you are gone. That is, you will going to frequently find that there are going to be good number of journalists who go on to think of asking a question in a press conference, but they don't ask a question. They go on to blame people. It is like if you go on to take an example. If someone goes on to ask you, "How are you?" What will be your reply? Most of the people will go on to say, "Good, fine." This is no reply at all. This is absolutely no reply. That only goes on to show that you don't have a communication skill. It should be, that means you may be in a state of mind that is very happy. So you're going to say, "I'm happy." Maybe that you're contemplative thinking. You're going to say, "I'm contemplative." Maybe that you are trying to feel lonely. You're going to say, "I'm feeling a bit lonely." Or you may go on to say that is I'm in solitude right now. Now there can be 10 different type of expressions. Good or fine doesn't go on to mean anything at all. Now, when you go on to begin your sentence by saying, that means you are short of expressions. Such type of people don't go on to become successful in a general. So language, communication, expression goes on to become one of the prime focus in this case. The third is perception balance. Now, when we're going to be talking perception balance, we are essentially talking about how is it that you can go on to balance a lot of perspectives and a perception. Perception balance means the issue may be simple, but then towards that issue, how is it that you're going to analyze this issue, and in what manner is it that you're going to analyze the issue? And when we go to say in what manner, that means whether you are able to take all the aspects associated with it or not. Take an example. We're just going to take a general example. It's a fashion in India these days that is to criticize the Prime Minister. Prime Minister, he takes any discussion, any decision, and he is always going to be criticized. Now think of it, just go on to logic it out. Is it that the Prime Minister himself goes on to take the decision? Answer is no, absolutely no. He is aided by no less than something like some 1,000 bureaucrats in this space. He is aided by a lot of intelligence information in this case. He is aided by a good number of people who are in this type of a profession. He is also aided by maybe external circumstances that the country may be facing in this case. So there are so many people who go on to go join together and then advise that this is the best possible case. Now, because Prime Minister is the representative of the people, consequently, he announces that part, not that he actually decides on that. So, to criticize the Prime Minister is going to be the most foolish thing that you can go to think of. Okay, take another example. There is another example is going to be that is you talk about everything. The government said in the COVID period that is they will go on to have a lockdown. So that was an idea. This is what the government goes on. This is what exactly is the job of the executive. That is to define a policy. The implementation of the policy is always going to be in the hands of the bureaucrats. So let's say that we have not been able to garner so much amount of advantage out of this policy that was a lockdown. And why? Because the lockdown was not properly implemented, and it was not the fault of any of the ministers in this case. It was the fault of the bureaucracy which was not able to implement that part. So again, to criticize the Prime Minister is going to be bad in this case. Okay, take the third example in this case. That is, we're taking only the case of a Prime Minister, not exactly that we are defending it and I have some type of an affinity towards him in this case. That uh, is it that the Prime Minister is the if you are asked about that is how good is your Prime Minister? Now you're going to say that his Prime Minister is a person, Prime Minister is a politician, Prime Minister as a statesman, Prime Minister as what? Now when you're going to ask me this question, I'm going to say that is as a person is concerned, I don't know about the Prime Minister. That is how good or bad a person he is, because I don't know him personally. Secondly, from a perspective of Prime Minister, he has done some phenomenal work. Now you go to any country outside India and you will go on to find that the type of respectability that he goes on to attend in those places, that is simply mind-blowing. And why is it so? Why is it so? This is because people know that he is not corrupt. Second, he is very strong internally. The third is that he is a complete patriot. The fourth is that he thinks about the country first, and that is the basic reason that he goes on to get a respect. Now, when you're going to say that as a Prime Minister, I'm going to say he's not very good as a Prime Minister. Largely because with respect to internal conditions and situations, he may not have been able to manage a lot of things. Agreed. It may be that this is what you're going to think. As a politician, he's very, very good. He's street smart, smarter. If he has to fight a war, he can go to fight like a street smarter person as well. And if he has to talk about intellectual concept, then he can go to talk about those things as well at the same time. Now, this is perception balance. Take another example. You're going to watch a movie. When you're going to watch a movie, and perhaps something that you may not have liked about the movie, you will come outside the movie and say that this movie is a complete shit of sorts. This is the type of word that you youngsters mostly go to use. Now you're going to find another person who's going to say, well, I have liked the movie. Who is correct? No one. Because you have not been able to express yourself. Expression basically means that you're going to say, whichever way that the movie may have been made, but I didn't like that movie. That is, it was not to my liking. Not that the movie was bad. Not that the movie was bad. There is perception balance. If you are able to balance your perception, then you will be loved by every person, liked by every person, and that is how you're going to lead your life as well. That's perception balance. The fourth part is your learning ability, and we are not talking about learning as studying together. Learning means you can go on to learn from anything. Now, take an example. Supposing you are asked to write an essay on something like urban problems of Delhi. Now, there are two ways in which you can go to follow that part. The first is going to be associated with an approach. You will going to go to library, you will go to look for a lot of books in that place, and then you will go to collect matter, and so on. You will go to do that. Of course, that is one of the ways. There will be a second person who would have not done anything at all. He would just go for observation. That is, while moving on the roads, he will go to observe that the roads are not good. While moving on the roads, he will go to know that the traffic is not classified. While moving on the road, he will go on to know that not only that the traffic is not sorted. There, on the same lane, there is a fast-moving traffic, and the same lane there is a slow-moving traffic. So traffic is not sorted in this case. There will be another person going to say that there are good number of people going to live in slums. So one person will go on to study a lot. There will be another person who will not study. He will be able to write an essay, or he will be able to write anything only on the basis of observation. Now, observation is the best method to learn. Learning is accomplished from talking to each other, by observation, by studying, by thinking in peace, by watching a movie, by watching television, by reading newspaper. Now, there are so many ways out of which you can go to learn. Studying is only a small part of it. There is only a small part of which through which you go to learn. So you have to be a learner. All in all, you have to be a learner. Only when you are going to be a learner, the world will go to value you, because you will never ever go to fail in your life at all. So 21st century personality requires that you have to be a learner. And who is a learner? A learner is also one of those persons who is able to unlearn a lot of things. That means something that you already know, you're going to unlearn that part. You can go to new learn a lot of things. That means you can go to learn in a completely new manner all in all. Now, I just going to give you one of these examples. I never had a very good formal schooling. I have been to school only for 1.5 years of time, maximum 2 years of time, right? So I studied everything on my own. Somehow I passed it. I never went on to go to college also for a good amount of time, largely because I was in college only for some amount of time. Maybe I can go to count it in 3 years, something like some 20, 25, 30 days of such. That is all that I have been to. And I'm essentially from sciences, right? I have studied physics, but then because I have shed and I have come to know a lot of things about different subjects. So just think, I I went on to become the mentor of a civil service examination by talking about geography. That's number one. Second is there is a I going to go to new channels and they're going to be asking me everything about international relations. Now the third part is I have been an advisor to some of the governments as well. A strategic thinker I am. Now I have been able to unlearn a lot of things and that too without having a good amount of formal schooling. Most of you people will be having a much better schooling than what I ever had at any point of a time. And this is what exactly that I am going to be saying to you. That is, you can go to do much better that way. And you only have to be a learner in this case. The fifth is, you must be in a position to build social capital. And why it is going to be significant? Because take an example. If everything you don't going to be having anything at all with you, the one thing that will go on to help you is going to be your social capital. That means the people who are going to be with you. If you have people, you don't require finance, you don't require ideas, you don't require scientists, you don't require anything at all. As long as you go on to be having people who are going to feel for you, who invest their thinking in you, and who are going to think behind you, then you are always going to be a winner. The sixth is a leadership quality. A leadership quality is something that is not very well understood. I just going to give an example. If you know about fox, you know how is it that the fox goes on to move with its herd? Fox goes on to move with its herd by supporting all of them, and the fox is not going to be in the front, it's completely behind. Now the main idea of a fox is that he or she wants to see that everyone in the flock is together, no one is under trouble, and he or she goes to take care of almost everything in this case. Now that means it's just a leader. That means a leader can go to walk from behind, seeing that all of his people go on to be safe, secure, and very well mannered. That is also a leadership quality. Leaders are also those people who go on to take certain things head on. For example, you will go on to consider that, of course, your present Prime Minister, Narendra Modi, he goes on to take a lot of things head on. He is taking head on with China right now, right? And that is because that is one type of leadership quality. Leaders are also those people who are innovators. That means who go on to always keep on thinking new and new. Leaders are also those people who can go on to build a lot of consensus among the people. For example, once you go on to study history, you will go to find there is one person, the best Prime Minister that we had. And I don't know what he's going to think of it. But ask any intellectual who was the best Prime Minister that we had, and everyone will go to talk about one name. P.V. Narasimha Rao, right? He was the best Prime Minister that we had. And he was a terrific consensus builder. That means he can go on to build consensus among maybe 20, 30 different type of parties as well. And people across all the parties used to be liking him as well. That is also leadership. So leadership is not only moving in the front. Leadership is sometimes building a consensus. Leadership is also sometimes walking together. Leadership is helping people. Leadership is being very, very strong. Leadership is being very, very cooperative. anything, any quality that you're going to develop, and that is going to be a very, very good quality, that is leadership. The seventh personality trait that you require in this post-COVID age in 21st century is love for your country. And when we're going to be talking about love for your country, a good number of people in India will go to find, a particular youth, they are always going to be, India is a completely gone country, this country, that country, whatever it is. Now, most of these foolish people who go on to be having no character at all, who go on to speak ill of their own country, urban naxals that we're going to be calling it, they don't have any idea. If you go on to go outside any country, for example, go on to go to Singapore. Singapore was a part of India at one point of time. And Singapore is an anglicized name of Hindi name. Singapore was its name. It was one of those places there where a lot of lions used to live, and India extended up till Singapore, and India called it as Singapore. All of those countries like Cambodia and other countries in the South Asian region were part of India. Myanmar was part of India. Malaysia was part of India. Indonesia was part of India. We were all part of India. And see where exactly that we have got ourselves onto right now. Now, in all of these countries that you're going to find, that is the love for your country goes on to matter a lot. If you do not going to love your country, then people are going to think that you are not good character. You do not have a good character at all. And you are a characterless person of sorts. Now, that is what we go on to think of. That is what we're going to be calling it as well. That means we're going to say that is any person who doesn't going to be having a love for their country, he has no character at all. And in this period, that goes on to become significant, largely because if you don't going to be having a love for your country, then you're not a nationalist at all. You don't have a character. You will not be respected, and will be always looked with suspicion. I repeat it, you will always going to be looked with a good amount of suspicion. And the last part is, if you cannot go to belong to your own country, then where exactly is it that, why is it that someone ever can go to trust you at all, at any point of a time or in any manner at all? Why should someone go to trust you? Love for your country is the primary goal. Love for your language, love for your country, love for your culture. If you don't belong to your culture, if you don't belong to your country, if you don't belong to your language, you are nowhere. No, you are nothing at all. So it's even if it is that you don't go to like it, you have a compulsion, right? If you have a compulsion, you have to go ahead with it. The eighth part is, you of course to have a personality in this case, you do require a lateral thinking. Lateral thinking means we are going to be talking about we are essentially going to be talking about certain type of traits which will go on to make you very, very good. For example, lateral thinking. Lateral thinking is you are able to find a solution in a small things. Lateral, for example, maybe some people will go to say that the present government that is sitting in Delhi's office, they are not capable of having a lateral thinking. And why is it not they are capable of having a lateral thinking? Is because they don't go to look for smaller things here and there. Now, the moment you start looking for smaller things as well, then you will be able to actually find a solution to some of the complex problem whose solution is very, very, very simple. That is lateral thinking. It's like being simplistic. When you are simplistic, you will go to find solution to a good number of things. That is lateral thinking. Second trait is going to be perseverance. That means perseverance basically goes on to mean that you go on to keep on doing the same thing, same thing in a different manner, but you are after it. Without perseverance, there is no way you can ever be successful. Lateral thinking is required for you to be successful, largely because without lateral thinking, you cannot go on to think high up, you cannot go on to think low down as well. You cannot go on to think looking for here and there. You cannot go on to take a 360-degree look at all of the problems in order to come to a solution in this case. Perseverance, that means that you are on to solving a problem and you are a finisher. That means you're going to finish it and then it's only then that you're going to get out of it. The third part is ability to experiment. Now, who are the people who are able to experiment? Only those people who are mature, only those people who are powerful, only those people who are strong, only those people who have a character, only those people go on to experiment. Most of the people do not have a character, they go on to be imitators. They imitate, only imitate. For example, in India, you're going to find that most of the people who go to follow fashion, fashion is the best sign of an imitation. It's the best sign of having a slave mentality. I repeat it, following, if you are a fashionista, you are a fashion fad, then it means that somewhere you are having a slave mentality. Why? Because in the people who are going to be having an identity, people who are a brand, they're going to have their own style. Fashion is for the masses, style is for the individual. And how is it that some people going to follow style? Because they're going to experiment with their looks. They're going to keep on doing new things, and new things. Unless you're going to do certain things new, there is no way that you can go on to experiment. You cannot go on to move ahead. You can only go on to become a mass. It's like in Hindi, what you're going to say, कीड़े मकोड़े बनकर आप रह जाएंगे. If you can understand Hindi slightly, then that is what exactly it is about. Experimentation is the prime focus of a personality, because if you don't experiment, you are doomed, completely doomed. Then processing information, ability to process information. A good number of people who are youthful, they only have information. That means that they only go to gather information. They are not in a position to process this information into knowledge. Now, the basic difference between information, knowledge, and wisdom is when you're going to process information, it goes on to get converted into knowledge. And when you go on to use this knowledge for the purpose of decision making, then that is called as wisdom. A good number of people do not go to know what exactly is the difference between information, knowledge, and that of wisdom, and still they keep on having a good amount of an ego in this case. So, ability to process information, any information that you're going to get, you must be individually capable of processing that information. Only then you will be in a position to take any type of a decision on your own. And lastly, that you must develop, you must be having a capability to logic out certain things. Now, if you don't go to having a capability of logicking out certain things, what will happen? You will go on to become a laggard. Laggard means pichulaggu, as you can go to say. That will keep on following people. There will be leaders, and you will go on to be the followers in this case. It's like saying that there will be some people who will go on to become prime minister, but there will be some people who will also require to serve tea to the prime minister. There will be some people who want to become a district magistrate, but there will be some people who must be there to offer tea or coffee to the district magistrate as well in this case. Now that means all the people who are going to offer tea, coffee, or open the gates, they are going to be driver. They are the ones who are laggards in this case, because they are not exactly in a process of logicking out certain things. We're just going to take one example, and we assume that we do not going to be having any knowledge about that event at all. Why is it that China has been at loggerhead with India in this case right now? Now you're going to find that all of those negative-minded people will go to talk about that someone has to, like what Congress is saying it right now. You're going to find it, and someone like Rahul Gandhi. I mean, it's a shame that we have to take this name, and that is an opposition as well. But we're going to imagine that is they're going to say that is because the government wants to win elections in this case, and they're also going to say that the government has have some type of a tie-up to kill the Bihar soldiers because the elections in Bihar are coming in this manner. Now imagine the amount of expense that it goes on to be, and your international reputation as it at stake if you're going to lose a war in this case, if you don't go to do anything in this case right now. Imagine that part. So that is going to be one component. The second component is why is it that you should go to allow your territory to be taken away? But this, you're going to find it, it's the first time ever, and I repeat it, first time ever. Now mind this language once again. First time ever that the Chinese are having a resistance, right? In all of the 70 years of the Congress rule, the Chinese never had any resistance. They came, they grabbed some land, and they were allowed to go. It's the first time. Now, of course, the Chinese are bound to get angry because it's the first time they are having some resistance. Imagine in 1962, they came, they occupied the land, they went back, and we did nothing. Nothing at all in this case. And you can imagine what may have been the intention of the government at that point of a time. So we are going to be talking about, you can go to logic it out. Why is it that the government is doing it? So what exactly is the need for the government to do it so? What exactly will be its outcome? Is it that Chinese are out to fight a war in India? Yes, they are out to fight a war because India will not go on to allow their Belt Road initiative to be successful. That means a road that goes on to be passing through Gilgit and Baltistan. And if they go on to build a road in that region, in Gilgit and Baltistan region, then imagine what will go on to happen. India's security will be completely damaged. That means that if India's security is going to be completely damaged, then Jammu and Kashmir will be gone. And if Jammu and Kashmir is going to be gone, Punjab will be gone. Chinese will be everywhere, and you will also going to find a good number of Islamic terrorists will also go on to be here. And you're going to imagine this part. That is, it is again the terrorists who do not want that our relationship with Pakistan or Afghanistan goes on to become good. You may not have gone on to Pakistan, but if you go to Pakistan, you will go to find that that the people are very, very lovable in that place. The problem right now is being government to government, not between people to people. Of course, a good number of people are being antagonized in Pakistan for a variety of reasons, but you will not imagine that is the type of love, affection, and other things that you're going to be getting in Pakistan, and Pakistani people also going to be getting India. Of course, if they are not anti-India. Of course, when you are not going to be anti-Pakistan, if you go to Pakistan and go to talk about against Pakistan, of course you are not going to be getting respect at all. But it is understood that you have your own interests and so on and so forth. Now we are going to be talking about logicking it out. So why is it that these type of problems going to get created? This is because all of the governments go on to be having their own interest in this case. So that is, you must be having this ability in order to develop that part. So we talked about what exactly you require to have a personality for 21st century. And if you have a personality, if you require a personality for 21st century, then which are the areas where you can actually go on to build a future for yourself? And one of these is going to be academics. This is going to be an emerging future, and you can never imagine that is how good it is going to be. Now, I'm in academics. I happen to understand that part, and I have made something like some 1,500 civil servants. I know that part as well, and I'll let you know. That is, some of my students who have been in civil services. What they did was they left civil services, went on to study in Singapore. From there, they went on to study in Japan, Nagoya University. Can you imagine their salary package? 74 crore rupees annual. That's largely because their academies of such a repute. Pick up another one. That is, there's another of this girl from Kerala who has been an advisor to the Kerala Chief Minister, and she was in IMF, she was in Harvard University. Can you imagine the packages that they're going to be getting? 135 crores of rupees. 135 crores of rupees, right? When you're going to pick up my guy, he is in Johns Hopkins University, Texas University. You cannot go on to make a guess that is what exactly is the package. 25 crore rupees is the package that they're going to be getting. In academics, you have money, you have fame, and then you have accessibility. I mean, even a big politician will go on to stand up when you go on to enter that place. That is what is going to be one component, academics. That's one of these careers of the future. The second career is going to be that of entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship is what we're going to be meaning by entrepreneurship is essentially something that you go on to keep on doing something new, and every time you keep on doing something new. And why is it that we're going to say that is we keep on doing something new in this case? That is, let's say you're going to be getting an idea. There was someone who got an idea and they were able to do what? Unicorn. They were able to open Flipkart. Some of them were able to make a satellite. It was an idea. It was only an entrepreneurship in this case. So right now we are moving into an age of entrepreneurship. This is largely because every individual will be an entrepreneur, and you just require to have a laptop. You require to have a learning capability. You require to have a Wi-Fi system in your house or in anywhere that you go to live, and you require to have an ability to learn, and you will go on to be a world winner. It's as simple as that. That is what is called as entrepreneurship. The third part is creativity. To be creative is going to be powerful. And who are the people who will go on to be creative and who can go on to be creative ever? Only those people can go on to be creative who have some degree of courage. Creativity is not for those people who are going to be weak, who are going to be feeble. And creativity is going to be one of these industries in the future. Creativity can go on to be in designing a desktop, in designing a house, in designing a book, in designing a factory, in designing an office, anything. In maybe in the type of a song that you can go to compose, maybe in form of something the work that you can go to do, in the way that you're going to finish your work, in the way that you can go to dress yourself. That is creativity. And if you have a creative thinking, you will go on to definitely create something for your own, for the society, and go on to leave a legacy for the next generation to follow. That is going to be a third category. Creativity in any field. Creativity can go on to be in a space, and it can go on to be in writing, it can go on to be in talking, it can go on to be in anything possible. It can go on to be also in opening a television channel as well, and that will be completely different. That will be one of those television channels that will be completely different from the rest of them. The fourth can go on to be civil services. Now, when we go on to be talking about civil services, then civil services are going to be having a lot of offshoots as well. Now, civil services is one such exemption where you imagine anything and you have to study that part. And when we go on to say that is you can imagine anything and you have to study it, then preparing for civil services once in your life will never go on to make you unsuccessful at all. Because when you can go on to prepare for civil services, then you can go on to get into civil services. That means you can go on to get into policy making. But supposing that you don't go on to qualify for civil services, then what all that you can go on to do? Now, then you can go into academics, then you can go into any type of a job, then you can go to any type of a provincial civil services, then you can go on to become a lecturer, then you can go on to open a school. Anything you can imagine, you can go on to do it once you have prepared your civil services examination in a very earnest manner. And that is going to be the fourth career that you have to look for. And it is these traits that will go to actually help you build this fourth career as well at the same time. The fifth is, in this case, it can go on to be any new type of anything that you can go on to follow by your passion. If you're passionate, follow anything. And when you go on to say that is that you can go on to follow your passion, and in this manner you can go on to follow your passion, then being passionate about anything will mean that you can go on to make a career, you can go on to create an industry out of it. I'm going to give you one example. There was one boy who was very, very fond of traveling. Now, because he was going to be very, very fond of traveling, what he was doing was he was taking his car, and one of these days he was moving towards Mongolia, another day moving towards Russia, another day moving towards Malaysia, Nepal. Now, he got an idea one of these days, that is, why not go on to pick up 4 or 5 people and then go to move together. He did that. Now, they pooled up their money and they moved. Then they got an idea that is, they have enough amount of experience, and after having garnered enough amount of experience, what they did was, they said that is, now anyone who wants to go from, let's say, Delhi to London by car, will go to arrange everything on the way. Now imagine the fun that is going to be going to London by car, traversing through Central Asia, that means Tajikistan, Kazakhstan, and Turkmenistan, then to Russia, and then towards Eastern European countries, and then towards Western European countries, and then towards it. It is going to be phenomenal experience. Phenomenal experience. So what he did was, he created that path. So initially he got 5 people, next year it got 20, now it's going to be 200. It's so flooded that he has to take a booking for 2 to 3 years in advance in this case. Now that is because he was creative in this case. That was also because one of these persons was from civil services, and civil services goes on to help you get so much amount of knowledge as well in this case. So you can go on to make a career out of anything if you are passionate about. The one thing that you require in your personality is being passionate. And if you're going to be passionate, if you're going to be honest to yourself, if you're going to be uh, truly transparent, if you are going to be a learner, that means you are able to process this information, there's nothing in this world that you can't go on to do. Now we are in such type of a position that we can actually, I repeat it, we can actually go on to do a lot of things that the whole of the world had never imagined, because we are moving into a gig economy, because every individual will be a brand, because you can go on to look for a variety of those type of things that will go on to give you idea, knowledge, concept, sharing, and whatnot. Now, this is largely because we have brought our world to such a level where we can go on to be in a position to help ourselves. Now, this is all that we can go on to saying in this type of a session. Now, and you will go on to understand that is in order to get some more amount of information, you can go on to, there are certain type of channels where you can go to take a look at it. In one of these channels, I happen to be an advisor of such, that is Civil Services Television. When you're going to go to Civil Services Television, it's not only about civil services, it goes on to make a lot of documentary. It has been only recently started, and with the best known people that the country has, the most honest people that the country goes into it, having in this case. You just have to, you don't have to do anything at all. You just have to subscribe it, you just have to log into it, you just have to like it, and that is it, that's all that you have to do. And you'll keep on getting a good amount of information about how is it that different type of careers can go on to be there. Which are these different type of careers which people going to look for in Australia? Which are the different type of careers that the people going to be looking for in Malaysia? Which are the different careers that the people going to look for in Dubai? And why is it that these type of careers will go to be significant right now? What type of personality people going to be having it? Almost everything. Almost everything that will keep on getting in due course of a time. So this is what it was from my side. I go on to wish you all the best. I have not seen any one of you in this case, but I assume that you are the one who are the architects of modern India. Youthful people are the one who will go on to be the architects of modern India, and the only thing that we can go on to give it to you is our wishes, our cooperation. I wish that if you go on to be part of a Civil Services Television, we'll keep on talking, we'll keep on meeting each other as well, right? Even if it is not, then I go on to thank everyone in the college who have been particularly instrumental in organizing it, particularly Dr. Minu Sahani, who has been pretty instrumental in getting me here. I have been completely bowled out by her behavior, by her demeanor, by her values, by her sanskar, and everything in this case. And of course, your college is going to be one of this part. I am indebted to it. I am going to be very thankful that they have given me enough amount of respect to give me a call in this place. My best wishes to you, and I just go on to wish that you're going to be a learner forever, learner throughout your whole of life, follow your passion, and as we're going to say for youth, खूब खाओ, खूब खेलो, खूब मस्ती करो, खूब मजा करो. That is what is going to be the mantra of it. You will be successful. The day you're going to become happy, you will be successful. So, happy successful.